NBA. I'm Allie Burns from Picks and Parlays. This should be a good one today. I've got Craig Trapp with me today. How's it going, Craig? You're the champ.
Yeah, I mean, champ, you got to put that in quotations. That was last week. Last week I couldn't miss on picks. Now, this week, I mean, I can't get one right. I'm glad the NBA's back because the college basketball has been rough the last 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, it's been yesterday. I haven't lost as much as I lost yesterday in like months. Like it was a bad day. So I feel you. It's the madness of the March. Up to face you, your formidable opponent, Mr. Dan Kaiser, the professor. How's it going?
It's going all right. So finally I get to get back on a Total Chaos after some scheduling difficulties, and you put me up against the boss. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm sorry, Dan, but your schedule is very difficult to work around, okay? But you do have whoever wins because Dan still is the reigning NHL champion, but he just hasn't been able to get back to it. Nick Parsons has been the champion since you left, and so you will meet whoever wins out of Cam and Nick tonight. So you'll be back next Tuesday for Total Chaos. All right.
There we go.
And Craig beat Higgs. That was a good match. It was I think you were 4-1 and he was 3-2. So it was a close one. Hey, Elliot, how's it going? Yeah, it ain't bad, you know. So if you guys have not noticed, if you have not watched Total Chaos before, here's how it works. I'm going to give these two experts 5 NBA games that happen on Thursday, March the 11th. They're going to give me 2 or 3 quick points on why it goes over or under. The one who gets the most of them correct comes back next week to defend their title. Easy enough, right, guys? Easy enough.
The winning and losing. The winning is the hard part, though.
Yeah, we're all okay with losing. I mean, right? It's all friendly, right? But yeah, when you win, now things get a little tougher. All right, Craig. Well, you're the champ, so you're going to start it off. We've got the T-Wolves at the Pelicans. 239 is the number. What do you got?
Well, these are two teams that really like to push the pace. The Pelicans, maybe the fastest pace team in the NBA. But, man, this is an extremely high total for a team that has been off. Obviously, after the All-Star break, you're basically a week off. A lot of rust in these type of games. I think you have to go under in this one. I think it's just too high for the first game back for both of these teams.
That's a good call. Good call. What do you got on it, Dan?
Yeah, I'm with Craig. I mean, I actually went to a couple of different sites to check the number because I thought maybe the number was posted wrong at one of the sites. Because yeah, I mean, Minnesota comes in scoring 107 points a game, and both teams are right around the same defensively, and Minnesota gives up 117, New Orleans gives up 115, and that if you combine those two, that's still 7 points under the total that's posted. And as Craig said, it's coming off an All-Star game. People have been sitting around not doing anything, especially this time of year. With COVID and stuff, it's not like the rest of the team could get together and practice or do shoot-arounds or whatever. So I'm with Craig. I think it's a little high number just off the All-Star break. So I'm with him on the under.
Okay, people at home, when they agree, the consensus plays tend to be the most valuable plays on the show. So already we're off to a winner with the under in the Pelicans game. Dan, kick it off. The Knicks are at the Bucks. 222.5 is your number here.
Yeah, I mean, this Knicks team, Tom, I don't know how long it's going to last with Tom Thibodeau, there. It usually starts out good, whatever team he's coaching for, a year or two, and then he plays a lot of guys a ton of minutes, and he stresses defense, and it is the NBA, and after a while that kind of wears on players. I look at this, the Knicks are only giving up 104 points a game, but they're only scoring 104 points a game. It's a little low total, and it kind of makes you think about taking it under, especially after what I said about these teams coming back. I mean, I don't know, will the Knicks get to 100, but I'm gonna take my chances. I think Milwaukee will score a few more points in this one than their average, so I'm gonna take the over in this one.
Oh, and over. Craig, what do you think?
Well, to me, the problem with these high totals like this, and this is a very high total for a Knicks game, is that you're going to need the Knicks to score. And like you said, they are offensively challenge. They're a little better. I mean, they've added, Derrick Rose was a big addition and give them a little more scoring punch, but they're still just don't score a lot of points. So I'm going to take the under here. Another, obviously, team that's, all these teams are playing their first game back from the All-Star break. Well, not maybe every team we covered today, but definitely these two and the last two we covered. So I'm going to take the under 222.5. This number is down. Opened at 224.5. So it's definitely headed in the under trend here.
All right. An over and an under. Let's move on out east. Celtics and the Nets. 2, 3, 4, 5 is your number there, Mr. Trapp. What do you got?
It's like, I mean, this is ridiculously high. But the Nets are one of those teams that pretty much can name their number when they're pushing the pace. And, Boston, it said that Marcus Smart's back. That has been a very big loss that he, last 2-3 weeks he's been out. The Celtics team was just not the same. As much as I don't love taking this over at that number, I'm going to, I would not bet this game. Just saying that, but I'm going to, for the show, I'll take the over.
We do have a no takesies backsies rule. So is that your final answer?
That's the final answer, over.
Okay, it's in the rule book. I can show you sometime. All right, Dan. What do you got?
Yeah, I know. She pulled that one on me the first time I went against her. So
I do, but I let you have a takesy backsy because it cost him the game. So, and you called it while you were still on the screen. You said, well, I wanted to go that way, but your final answer was the other way, which made you not the winner. Okay, so it made you the tire. It made you the tire. All right, what do you got on this one?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with what I thought originally, and it is a high number, but the Nets are the number one scoring offense in the league right now, and the one thing you can say about the Nets, even though they score a ton of points, they give up a ton of points. I mean, defense is not in their vocabulary, especially without Durant. I mean, it might change a little bit if they get Durant back on the floor, but until then, they just don't play a lick of defense. So I'm going to be with Craig on this one. I'm going to take the over also.
Taking the over. All right. Shoot, I lost our game. Hold on. There we are. All right. Warriors at the Clippers. 230.5 is the number. Dan Kaiser, you are going to start it off. What do you got?
I'm going to take the under in this one. I mean, Seth Curry before the break, he was on fire. He scored a ton of points, but they just don't have a lot around them that you can consistently count on. And the Clippers, they'll put Leonard or George or somebody to try to slow down Curry. And if they can slow him down a little bit, 230, I think, is a high number. And as we've been saying, first game off the break. So I'm going to take the under in this one.
Craig, what do you say?
The Clippers, for a team that is full of defenders, and they probably have individual for their position, George, Kawhi, and what's the point guard? Can't think of a brain fart. But they're three individual defenders. They should be one of the best defensive teams in the NBA, but they are not if you look at the numbers. And I like the over here. I just think the Clippers play a very fast pace, so they're going to get there. I think the Clippers will get 120. The question is, can the Warriors keep it close enough to get this over? Because when you have these high totals, the game has to be close. Usually you're not going to have a team score 150, the other team score 90. You're going to need 130 to 110. And let's hope we get that. Let's hope we get the Warriors to keep it close. Like you said, Steph Curry has been playing out of his mind. If they were winning a little more, he would be in the MVP talk. I mean, that would be for sure. Because if you look at his numbers, they're just as good as when he won his MVPs.
Well, that's interesting. Well, pull it together, Warriors. You're letting your dude down here. Jeez Louise. All right, so last one. We've got the Pistons at the Hornets. 220.5 is the number. Craig, you got it.
This Pistons team is – I mean, it seems like they've been rebuilding since, since they won the championship. I think they lost the second time, right? They lost with Rip Hamilton. They went back-to-back to the championship, but I believe they lost to the Lakers the second game.
Yeah, they did 2 in a row.
They won 1. Since then, it seems like they've been rebuilding since then. And it's just a team that, once again, they cut Blake Griffin and let him walk. I mean, they trade Derrick Rose and get very little for him. It's like these are 2 good players that other teams really, really want, and they couldn't make it work with them. So I just think they don't score enough points. And the Hornets, they do score, but I kind of like the Hornets actually in this one on the side, just as a side note, But I'm going to take the under for the show.
All right, Dan, do you agree?
Oh, I agree about the rebuilding, but what Detroit team isn't rebuilding or hasn't been rebuilding for the last 40 years? Like, I mean, it's ridiculous living in Michigan with that team over there, with that whole city over there. It's just been pathetic. Yeah. Well, I mean, Pistons are terrible, Red Wings are terrible, Tigers are terrible. I mean, they just went through the Lions and Matt Patricia. So, all right, well, let's get back to this. Yeah, I don't know who the Pistons have on that team anymore that can score. I mean, did you look at this team a couple of years, or I think it was even last year? You had Griffin and Andre Drummond had some good players, and then now I'm not even sure what we have over there. So, yeah, I'd be surprised if the Pistons in this game, especially after the layout, get to 100. So I'm gonna have to go with I'm gonna have to take the under in this one and hope we don't tie.
And hope we don't tie. All right, under it is. Yeah, sometimes I've noticed you guys like to switch your picks up just so there's not going to be a tie, but then one of you complains when there is a tie and you didn't answer the right way, Dan, because you could change your answers. I'm just saying. All right. Well, we are going to do a quick recap on everything, but I want to let you guys know that we've got a new promo code for this week. I swore that it was right here on my thing, but it is MAD, M-A-D. We'll save you 20% off the entire site. Here it is. Not like you guys don't know what I'm doing, but for professional purposes, let's put that up there. Okay, so let's do a quick recap. And if you guys have just joined us, give us that like, thumbs up, and let us know you love what we're doing here. That way we can keep giving out all these free picks for you guys. Okay, so on that Pelicans game, the number's 239, and the guys are both taking it under 239. What's happening? This is where you get weird. So I always get nervous at the recap because it's where stuff gets weird with Craig. Watch. We'll like eat a pen or something. All right. The Knicks 222.5. Dan goes over and Craig is going to take that one under. And that Celtics matchup 2-3-4-5 is the number, and they're both going over it. The Warriors 230.5. Dan's going under, Craig's going over. And the last one was the Pistons at 220 and a hook. They're both taking it under. All right, guys. Well, that was good. That was a short, sweet, to the point. Good stuff there. Little consensus, little not consensus. So we'll see. May the best man win.
Gambler going on that I need your help with.
Are you really not even? Are you watching something during my time right now?
What's that?
Are you watching something during my time? You're at work right now. You're on the clock.
I was trying to share.
Oh.
It's not as easy. I didn't plan it. I didn't bring any of my other devices in this room, so I was trying to share there at the end, and that was a problem.
Oh, we should have shared at the beginning. Then we would have had people in our chat come in. But thank everyone who is in our chat for coming in. I figured out how to screen share things on my thing here. Now I can show pictures of things that I want to show pictures of. So stay tuned, people. I'm getting fancy over here. All right, Dan and Craig, thank you guys so much for joining on Total Chaos. I will see the best man or the winner of it. Well, you're both great men, don't get me wrong, but I will see the winner next week when you come to defend your crown. All right, bye guys.
All right, see ya.